Let's cut the noise.
The world you think is stable is a myth. In the last year alone, the US got slammed with 27 separate billion-dollar disasters. That's a new catastrophe every 13 days. Experts are already saying 2025 is shaping up to be even worse. Forget hypotheticals. Ask yourself this: if the grid went down for good tonight, does your family have what it takes to survive past the weekend? Statistically, the answer is no. Most households can't even handle 72 hours without power or water. I'm Sean, and I've been focused on real-world readiness since 2014. I'm not here to sell you on doomsday fantasies. This is about acknowledging a harsh reality. The disaster preparedness market is now a $206 billion industry. Not because of paranoia, but because the threats are multiplying. From supercharged hurricanes and relentless wildfires, to widespread grid failures and escalating cyber attacks, the hits keep coming. But this isn't another video showing you the same old survival junk. I've dug deep to uncover 13 game-changing products you've probably never heard of. These aren't just gadgets. They are legitimate lifelines that could mean everything when things go sideways. Forget the common prepper lists. This is what you actually need. Let's get straight to it. Point 1. The all-in-one hydration and power hub. Let's start with something that sounds mundane but is one of the most brilliantly engineered pieces of survival tech I've seen: a water purifier. Before you click away, understand this isn't the flimsy plastic straw filter you see in every bug-out bag video. This is a complete life support system masquerading as a water bottle. We're talking about a solar-powered electric water purifier, and it's an absolute game-changer. The core function is obvious. It provides clean drinking water, but it's how it accomplishes this that sets it apart. This device can take the most questionable water you can find: murky pond scum, flooded street runoff, questionable river water, and transform it into safe potable water at an incredible rate. We're talking about a purification speed of up to 700 milliliters per minute. It strips out 99% of all the nasty stuff: bacteria like E. coli, protozoa like Giardia, and even viruses that smaller, simpler filters miss completely. What makes this an indispensable tool for 2025 is its power system. This isn't a device you have to worry about finding batteries for when the stores are empty. It comes equipped with 3 separate charging methods, creating a fail-proof energy loop. First, it has a built-in high-efficiency solar panel. Just leave it in the sun, and it charges itself. Second, for overcast days or indoor situations, it has a manual hand crank generator. A few minutes of cranking provides enough power to purify several liters of water. Third, it has a standard USB port, so you can pre-charge it from a wall outlet, a car, or a power bank before a storm hits. This triple redundancy means you will never be without the ability to make clean water. But here's where it transcends being just a filter and becomes a central piece of your emergency gear. Integrated into this system is a robust 3,000 mAh power bank. This means while the device is sitting in the sun charging itself, or while you're cranking it to purify water, you can plug in your essential electronics. You can charge your smartphone to contact loved ones or access downloaded maps. You can power your emergency radio to get critical update. You can recharge a headlamp. It's not just about clean water, it's about maintaining your connection to the outside world and your ability to function after dark. And speaking of dark, it also includes a powerful multi-mode LED emergency light. So, in one compact, durable unit, you have water purification, a power source for your devices, and a reliable light source. Think about the reality of a multi-day power outage. The tap runs dry, your phone is dead, and you're in total darkness. This one device solves all 3 of those problems simultaneously. For around $100, you're getting a tool that provides the 3 most critical resources in a crisis: water, light, and power. It's not just a product, it's an entire survival strategy in the palm of your hand. Point 2. Your personal silent power plant. Alright, let's talk about the single biggest vulnerability in modern life: the electrical grid. When it goes down, everything stops. Communication, refrigeration, medical devices, heating, cooling. It all vanishes. The old solution was a gas generator. Loud, smelly, and demanding, a constant supply of fuel that becomes liquid gold in a crisis. That's old thinking. The future of household energy independence is the portable solar power station. And no, I'm not talking about a pocket-sized battery that can barely charge your phone. I'm talking about a new class of powerful, scalable units that can run significant portions of your home silently and indefinitely. These are the devices that truly bridge the gap between a minor inconvenience and a life-threatening disaster. Think of it as your own personal silent power plant. Units like those from EcoFlow, Bluetti, or Jackery are essentially massive lithium-ion batteries housed in a portable, rugged case paired with an advanced inverter that delivers clean, stable electricity just like you get from the wall. You can get entry-level models that will keep your phones charged, run lights, and power a laptop for days. But the real game changers are the professional-grade models. These power stations can run your full-size refrigerator, a chest freezer, critical medical equipment like a CPAP machine, and your Wi-Fi router, all at the same time. This is what modern survival looks like. You're not just surviving, you're maintaining a sense of normalcy and safety. The genius is in the refueling. Your fuel source is the sun, and it's delivered daily for free. These stations are designed to be charged with portable, foldable solar panels. You simply set them up during the day, and they replenish the power you used overnight. As long as the sun exists, you have a limitless supply of energy. There's no stockpiling flammable gasoline, no performing oil changes, and no toxic carbon monoxide fumes to worry about. They are silent, making them ideal for situations where you don't want to advertise that you're the only one on the block with power. 10 years ago, a system with this capability would have been a permanent installation costing upwards of. Today, you can get a robust solar power station capable of running your essentials for less than the cost of a new television. When you consider that a single prolonged outage can cause you to lose hundreds of dollars in spoiled food, or worse, deny a family member access to life-sustaining medical equipment, the investment becomes an obvious choice. With grid instability now a documented year-round threat across the country, this is no longer a luxury for off-gridders. It is a foundational piece of responsible homeownership. Point 3. The 25-year food security blueprint. Now for the one topic that sends people running: emergency food. Most people picture bland, salt-heavy rations in a dusty fallout shelter. Let's be blunt, that image is decades out of date. The reality of modern emergency food is something else entirely, and it's one of the most critical investments you can make for your family's long-term security. We're talking about freeze-dried emergency food kits, and their key feature is a staggering 25-year shelf life. This isn't a typo. You can buy this food today, store it properly, and it will be perfectly safe and nutritious for your children, or even your grandchildren, to eat in the year 2050. This is possible because of the freeze-drying process. It removes over 98% of the water from the food, which halts the microbial growth that causes spoilage. The food is then sealed in heavy-duty, multi-layer mylar pouches to protect it from oxygen and moisture, and then packed into rugged, stackable buckets that can withstand almost anything. Let's clear the air on taste. Forget what you think you know. Companies like My Patriot Supply, 4 Patriots, and ReadyWise have invested millions in making food that people actually want to eat. We're talking about creamy chicken and rice, savory stroganoff, cheesy broccoli soup, and even scrambled eggs and cinnamon apple oatmeal for breakfast. The meals are designed to be rehydrated with hot water in about 15 minutes, and the texture and flavor are remarkably close to a home-cooked meal. This is critically important. In a high-stress disaster scenario, the psychological comfort of a warm, familiar-tasting meal is just as important as the calories it provides. It's a morale booster that cannot be overstated. Let's break down the logistics. A typical 1-month supply bucket provides around 2,000 calories per day for one person. It's a complete nutritional baseline. The cost usually works out to be just a few dollars per meal. Now, compare that to the reality of a crisis. We all saw the empty shelves and the price gouging in 20. A simple case of water was being sold for absurd prices. Imagine what will happen to the price of food when a real supply chain disruption occurs. Having these buckets stored away means you are completely insulated from that panic, that desperation. You don't have to fight the crowd. You don't have to worry about how you'll feed your family next week. You simply open a bucket. Storage is unbelievably simple. The sealed buckets are waterproof and pest-proof. You can stack them in a closet, slide them under a bed, or put them in the garage. They require no refrigeration and no maintenance. You set it and forget it. This isn't about paranoia. It's about simple, logical risk management. You have car insurance. You have home insurance. This is life insurance you can eat. Point 4. The unbreakable information lifeline. In a crisis, information is as vital as water or shelter. But your primary source of information, your smartphone, is incredibly fragile. It relies on a complex network of cell towers, internet service providers, and a power grid that are often the first casualties in any major disaster. When those systems go down, your $1,000 phone becomes a useless brick. This is where one of the most overlooked yet essential pieces of gear comes in: the multifunctional emergency radio. To be clear, this is not your grandfather's pocket transistor radio. Modern emergency radios are robust, multi-band survival tools designed specifically to function when every other communication method has failed. They are your unbreakable link to the outside world. Their primary function is to receive AM, FM, and most importantly, NOAA weather radio broadcasts. The NOAA Weather Radio Network is a 24/7 service operated by the government specifically to broadcast hazard information. It's the voice of authority during a crisis. It will tell you the path of a hurricane, the location of wildfires, where to find emergency shelters, which roads are impassable, and when the all-clear has been given. This is not just news, it is actionable, life-saving intelligence that you cannot get from a dead cell phone. The idea that you can just wait it out is dangerously naive. You need to know what's happening beyond your immediate location to make informed decisions about whether to stay put or evacuate. The engineering behind these radios is what makes them so indispensable. Like the water purifier we discussed, they are built with redundant power systems. They feature a built-in solar panel for passive charging during the day and a hand-crank dynamo for generating power manually. Just a few minutes of vigorous cranking can provide 30-40 minutes of radio playtime or a small but crucial charge for your phone. Most also have a compartment for disposable batteries as a final backup. You are never without power. But their utility doesn't stop at information. Today's models are packed with features. They include powerful built-in LED flashlights that are far more reliable than a phone's light. They have USB ports that allow you to use the power you generate from cranking or the sun to give a critical boost to other devices. Many also include an ear-piercingly loud SOS alarm function that can be used to signal for help. For a price tag that is often less than a family dinner at a restaurant, typically between $30 and $60, you are acquiring a device that single-handedly solves the problems of information, light, and emergency signaling. In the chaos of a real emergency, being informed is being in control. This device ensures you are never left in the dark, literally or figuratively. Point 5. The wood-fired power station. Let's get into some truly next-level technology. This next item sounds like something straight out of a post-apocalyptic movie, but it is very real and incredibly effective. I'm talking about a portable camp stove that generates its own electricity from the fire it creates. This isn't just a stove, it's a self-contained energy ecosystem that runs on twigs. The concept is genius in its simplicity. In any long-term crisis, the two most challenging resources to manage are cooking fuel and electricity. Propane canisters run out, gas goes bad, and your power banks eventually die. This device, like the BioLite camp stove, solves both problems at once, using nothing but scavenged biomass. You gather twigs, pine cones, wood pellets, or any dry organic matter from the ground, light it inside the stove's burn chamber, and you have a roaring, efficient fire hot enough to boil a liter of water in under 5 minutes. But this is where the real magic happens. Built into the stove is a thermoelectric generator. This device captures the waste heat from the flames, energy that is normally just lost to the air, and converts it directly into usable electricity. That electricity does two things simultaneously. First, it powers an internal fan system. This fan injects air back into the fire, creating a vortex of flame that burns hotter and dramatically cleaner than an open campfire. It's like a miniature blacksmith's forge, resulting in less smoke and a more efficient burn, meaning you use less fuel. Second, the surplus electricity is sent to an onboard battery pack, which you can then access via a standard USB port. So while you're brewing coffee or cooking a meal, you are simultaneously charging your phone, a headlamp, a GPS unit, or your emergency radio. Think about the profound implications of this. In a scenario where the grid is down for weeks, you have a perpetual source of both cooking heat and electrical power. As long as you can find deadfall on the ground, you are self-sufficient. There are no fuel canisters to buy, store, or carry. There's no reliance on gasoline that will eventually disappear. The entire system weighs only about 2 pounds and packs down into itself, making it small enough to fit into any emergency bag. The ability to create both a hot meal and electrical power from nothing but forest debris is a massive tactical advantage. It's the ultimate expression of self-reliance, turning the literal ground beneath your feet into an endless source of energy. This isn't just a gadget, it's a fundamental shift in how you can approach off-grid survival, providing independence when all other systems have failed. Point 6. The instant water reservoir. This next item is so simple that its critical importance is often completely ignored until it's tragically too late. Mass water storage. Let's be blunt. Without water, you are dead in 3 days. Every other piece of gear you own is useless if you can't hydrate. The federal recommendation from FEMA is a minimum of 1 gallon of water per person per day. For a family of 4, that's 4 gallons a day. To get through a single week, you need 28 gallons. Now look in your pantry. Most people have a case of bottled water at best, maybe 6 or 7 gallons. That's not even a 2-day supply. The problem is obvious, but the solution seems daunting. Where does a normal person in a regular house store 50 gallons of water? You don't have space for a massive rigid tank. This is precisely why large-capacity, collapsible water containers are one of the smartest preparedness investments you can make. We're talking about heavy-duty, 55-gallon containers that are engineered for this exact purpose. The brilliance is in their design. When empty, they fold down to be just a few inches thick. You can store several of them under a bed, in the back of a closet, or on a shelf in the garage, taking up virtually no space. But when a crisis is imminent, a hurricane is forecast, a winter storm warning is issued, or there are reports of a municipal system failure, you can rapidly deploy them. You simply unfold a container, place it in a bathtub or shower stall to support its weight, and fill it directly from the tap. In minutes, you have secured 55 gallons of clean, potable water. That's enough for one person to survive for almost 2 months, or for a family of 4 to last nearly 2 weeks. These containers are made from thick, puncture-resistant food-grade plastic that is BPA-free, so there's no danger of chemicals leaching into your water. They are built to last. When the water stops flowing from the taps, and it will during a major disaster due to pipe breaks, contamination, or power failures at pumping stations, you won't be part of the desperate mob fighting over the last bottles at the store. You won't be risking your family's health by drinking from questionable sources that could be contaminated with bacteria and lead to diseases like dysentery or cholera. You'll have your own secure, clean reservoir. For a cost of less than $100, you are buying total water independence. You are removing one of the biggest and most immediate threats in any disaster scenario. It's a simple, low-cost, high-impact solution that every single household should have. Point 7. The pocket-sized lifesaver. Now for a piece of technology so lightweight and compact that you have zero excuse not to have it. This is a technology born from NASA's Apollo program, designed to protect astronauts from the vacuum of space, and it has since become one of the most effective life-saving tools on Earth. The emergency Mylar blanket and its upgraded sibling, the emergency Bivy sack. Most people have seen these shiny, crinkly blankets, but few understand the powerful physics at play. They are made from a vapor-deposited layer of aluminum on a thin, durable plastic sheet. This material reflects up to 90% of your radiant body heat right back at you. In a survival situation, your body heat is your most precious resource, and hypothermia is your most insidious enemy. An emergency blanket, which folds down to the size of a wallet and weighs less than a smartphone, can literally be the difference between life and death. Let's move beyond the basic blanket to its far superior evolution, the emergency bivy. This is essentially a sleeping bag made from the same reflective material but sealed to be windproof and waterproof. It's a complete, ultralight shelter system. Think about this scenario. Your car slides off an icy road in a rural area during a winter storm. There's no cell service. Temperatures are plummeting. A car's cabin loses heat rapidly once the engine is off. Without protection, lethal hypothermia can set in within hours. But with an emergency bivy in your glove box, you simply crawl inside. Your own body heat is trapped, creating a microenvironment that will keep you warm and alive through the night until help can arrive or conditions improve. This isn't a theoretical use case. This exact scenario plays out every single winter. These bivy sacks are surprisingly durable, designed to be tear-resistant and reusable. They are not one-and-done items. Their value is astronomical when you consider their cost and size. You can get a high-quality emergency bivy for $20 to $30. You should have one in every vehicle you own. You should have one in your go bag. You should have one for every member of your family in your home's emergency kit. They offer an unmatched weight-to-warmth ratio. In an evacuation scenario where shelters are full or you're forced to sleep in a cold environment, this tiny package becomes your personal portable shelter. It provides instant protection from wind, rain, and cold. When exposure is the primary threat, this simple piece of gear is your most powerful defense. It is cheap, it is light, and it is non-negotiable for serious preparedness. Point 8. The endless, collapsible light source. Light is a resource we take completely for granted until it's gone. A power outage plunges you into a primitive darkness that is not just inconvenient. It's dangerous. Simple tasks become difficult. Accidents happen, and a sense of security evaporates. Flashlights are a start, but they offer a narrow beam and rely on disposable batteries that will become a scarce and expensive commodity in a crisis. Candles are an archaic fire hazard responsible for a huge number of house fires during blackouts. The modern, intelligent solution is the solar-powered collapsible lantern. This is one of the most practical and useful pieces of emergency tech you can own. These devices are brilliantly designed for both function and storage. Their core feature is a built-in solar panel. You just leave the lantern on a windowsill or outside during the day, and it charges itself for free. A full day of sun can provide dozens of hours of light, with some models lasting over 100 hours on their low settings. This completely removes the need for batteries, creating a sustainable, endless source of light. When you need it, you simply expand or inflate the lantern. It transforms from a flat, 1-inch thick disc into a full-size lantern that casts 360 degrees of soft, diffused light, illuminating an entire room, not just a single spot. This area lighting is critical for safety and morale, allowing a family to cook, read, or move around without tripping over things in the dark. The innovation doesn't stop there. Modern solar lanterns are packed with features essential for a crisis. Most are rated IP67 waterproof, meaning they can be fully submerged in water and still function perfectly, making them ideal for floods and hurricanes. They are also incredibly durable and shatterproof, so you can drop them or toss them in a bag without worry. And here's the crucial multifunctionality. Many of the best models, like those from Luminade or Empowered, now include a USB output port. This means the lantern's internal battery, charged by the sun, also serves as a power bank. You can plug in your phone or emergency radio to get a vital charge while the lantern is lighting your space. You are getting two critical survival functions, light and power, from a single self-sustaining device. For a shockingly low price, often around $15 to $25 per lantern, you can strategically place these around your home and create a resilient lighting system that will make any extended power outage safer and far less stressful. Point 9. The unspoken necessity of sanitation. Alright, let's talk about something nobody wants to discuss, but it's one of the most lethal threats in any disaster: human waste. When the power goes out and the water stops, your toilet stops working. That's a simple fact, but the consequences are catastrophic. History is a brutal teacher on this subject. In the aftermath of nearly every major natural disaster, the secondary killer isn't injury, it's disease. Outbreaks of cholera, dysentery, and other waterborne illnesses sweep through communities because sanitation systems have failed. Without a way to manage waste, it inevitably contaminates groundwater, drinking sources, and living areas. This isn't a problem for a developing nation. This is what happens right here when infrastructure collapses. Ignoring this issue doesn't make it go away. It guarantees a public health crisis right in your own home. So what's the plan when you have a family sheltering in place for a week without functioning plumbing? This is where an emergency toilet system becomes non-negotiable. It's not a glamorous piece of gear, but its function is absolutely critical. We're talking about a simple, effective solution, typically a bucket-based system fitted with a proper toilet seat for stability and comfort. You line the bucket with a heavy-duty leak-proof waste bag, often one designed for this specific purpose. After use, you add a gelling and deodorizing powder. This chemical agent does two crucial things. It solidifies liquid waste to prevent spills and splashes, and it neutralizes odors, which is a massive factor for morale and hygiene when you're confined to a small space. You then seal the bag securely. The whole process is designed to be hygienic, self-contained, and dignified. Think about the psychological impact. In a world turned upside down, maintaining basic human dignity and cleanliness is a powerful force against panic and despair. Providing your family with a private, clean, and functioning toilet maintains a sense of normalcy and control when everything else feels chaotic. For an investment of less than $100, you can purchase a complete system with a bucket, seat, and a supply of waste bags and gelling powder. That small cost buys you protection from a wave of disease that could be far more dangerous than the initial event. Brands like Luggable Loo or Serene Life have perfected these systems, making them sturdy, compact, and easy to store. This isn't about comfort, it's about preventing a medieval-level health crisis in your 21st century home. You are removing a massive variable from the survival equation. Don't let a preventable sanitation issue be the thing that takes your family down. Point 10. The infinite mechanical torch. Let's circle back to a fundamental survival need: light. But we need to address the Achilles heel of every conventional flashlight: the battery. Batteries corrode. They have a limited shelf life, and in a crisis they become one of the first items to vanish from store shelves. Reaching for a flashlight in a blackout only to find it dead is a classic, frustrating, and dangerous scenario. The solution is to remove the battery from the equation entirely. That's where the hand crank flashlight comes in. This isn't the flimsy toy you might remember from the 90s. Modern hand crank devices are rugged, powerful, and essential pieces of emergency equipment. Their brilliance lies in their mechanical simplicity. They run on your power. 1 minute of steady cranking can generate enough electricity for 30 to 60 minutes of bright, consistent LED light. It's a direct conversion of your physical effort into energy, and it will work every single time. Guaranteed. But the evolution of these devices is what makes them indispensable for 2025. They are no longer just flashlights. They are miniature power plants. Most high-quality models now include an internal battery and a USB charging port. This means that as you crank to generate light, you are also storing excess energy. You can then use that stored power to breathe life back into your most critical communication device, your smartphone. Imagine the grid is down indefinitely. Your phone is at 5%. You spend 10 minutes turning the crank on your flashlight, and you can add enough charge for an emergency call, to check a downloaded map, or to receive a critical alert. That small amount of power can be a lifeline. This one device provides both infinite light and on-demand power for your other electronics. Reliability is paramount in survival gear, and these devices are built for it. Brands like Fawdower and Running Snail are creating flashlights that are waterproof, shock-resistant, and built to withstand abuse. You can drop it, get it soaked in a flood, or leave it in a car through freezing winters, and that simple mechanical crank will still generate power. The cost is almost insignificant when you consider the capability, typically between $20 and $40. That's a one-time purchase for a device that provides unlimited light and power, versus the endless cycle of buying disposable batteries. There are no solar panels that need to be aimed at the sun, no batteries to check and replace. It's foolproof. When all other systems fail, when batteries are dead and the sun isn't out, the pure reliability of mechanical energy wins. This device is the epitome of self-sufficiency. Point 11. Your life on paper. Fortified. This next item is the one everyone thinks is boring until they lose everything. Let's talk about protecting your critical documents. The initial disaster, the fire, the flood, the earthquake, is only the first phase. The second disaster begins the day after, when you try to start rebuilding your life and realize every piece of paper that defines your existence is gone. Your driver's license, social security cards, birth certificates, passports, property deeds, insurance policies, bank records, all of it destroyed. Without these documents, you are a ghost. You cannot file an insurance claim to rebuild your home. You can't access your bank account. You can't prove your identity to receive emergency aid from FEMA. You enter a bureaucratic nightmare, trapped in a loop where you need an ID to get a birth certificate and a birth certificate to get an ID. This secondary crisis can be more financially and emotionally devastating than the original event. The solution is simple and absolute: a fireproof and waterproof document protector. These are not simple file folders. They are engineered containers, typically bags or lockboxes, made from materials like multi-layer silicone-coated fiberglass. They are designed to withstand extreme conditions, rated to survive temperatures up to 2000 to 50 and complete submersion in water. You place your essential documents inside, seal it, and it becomes a vault for your identity. If your house burns, your papers survive. If your home floods, the bag floats and keeps everything inside perfectly dry. In an evacuation, you grab this one bag and you have everything you need to start over. The best versions of these protectors are designed with organization in mind. They have dedicated slots for cards, sleeves for passports, and large pockets for full-page documents like deeds and insurance policies. Many also include smaller pockets for USB drives, where you should keep digital backups of every document as well as photos of your home and property for insurance purposes. And critically, this is where you should keep an emergency cash stash. When the power is out, ATMs don't work, and credit card systems are down. Cash becomes king. Having $500 to $1,000 in small bills inside this protected bag ensures you can buy fuel, food, or a hotel room when no one else can. For a cost ranging from $30 for a basic bag to $150 for a larger lockbox, you are purchasing an insurance policy on your entire identity and financial future. Nothing else on this list offers a greater return on investment when it comes to long-term recovery. Protecting your paper trail is not optional, it is the foundation of your comeback.